Welcome one and all to the kitchen of the experimentations, and here today we'll be making tea, explaining to you the complexities of making tea the proper way. I know.
Yes, that's right. So what we're going to do first is gather the ingredients needed to make a cup of tea. So we're going to do that right now. Me and Dr. Pavel here.
Yes, right away.
Okay, let's do it.
So here, what we have, we're trying to encompass all kinds of people that may drink tea. So we've gone for the lactose-free milk, for those that are lactose intolerant. We've gone for the organic tea, not to offend the Greenpeace party.
And of course, naturally, one needs a kettle to boil the tea. So we've got the kettle here, just a normal one, nothing fancy. And we've boiled the water, and we've let it rest for a little while.
Just let the sort of air. First of all, what we do, our technique, we rest the tea bag flat, horizontal into the bottom of the cup, and then we add the lactose-free milk. You don't want the milk too cold, but fairly cold. So, as we pour the milk, you want to just let the tea bag float. We pour the milk, we just want to cover the tea bag so that it's partially hidden. And then once that's done, you let it sit just for a moment, and then as you pour the hot boiling water, you want to give it some height, to give it a bit of stream. So as we're doing that, you see we're introducing air to let those flavours escape, to let the molecules come alive. You see, and as that happens, see what happens? There, that's it.
So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show the people at home, just so they can see. Look at the colour of this tea here. Now this is what it looked like. You see there, it's brewing nicely. It's just streaming out of that tea bag there. Very nice indeed.
So here we have an instrument here to rotate and agitate the tea bag, but we don't want to agitate it in a random way. We want to do it in intervals of 1 second, but we want to rotate the tea bag as if you're flipping a coin in a glass.
Right, so what we're going to do now is just take the tea bag out, which is quite a scary operation, but he's going to go for it here.
That last squeeze just lets out the last bit of flavours there to just contain.
A little nugget of tea, look at that.
So now, you see, that is the perfect cup of tea. There's no contaminants or particulates resting on the surface there. It's completely clear of all contamination.
So I believe it's time that people will be wondering, why do we put the milk first?
Well, yes, that is where science comes into its own. Because what we're going to explain to you now is why did we put the milk in first, like Jacob said? Well, firstly, the reason is flavour. You see, flavour is amazing. None of the tea flavours are sort of ruined by the usual flooding of the milk, you see. Right. Now, the perfect way to explain this, have you ever made yourself a cordial drink and you put the water in first and then you put the cordial in afterwards? What happens?
Yes,
the cordial sinks to the bottom of the glass, but you don't have the flavours. So you take that analogy, but you sort of add it to the tea element, and so sorry, can we take that again?
Sorry, we're trying to make a video here, and we've got people barging into the kitchen.
Will you stay out of this science area?
I mean, really.
We're scientists here trying to work hard.
Darn it.
So, take that analogy, and you don't want the flavours to just be blasted into an area. You want to control the flavours. So what the milk does, it contains the flavour of the tea, and then it releases it slowly into a gradual So yes, so you want that even colour, even texture, even flavour, and that's what that milk does, by releasing it, controlling it, you see. But there's also the question of the proteins. So, you see there is no scuff of contaminants on top of the surface, you see, because what we've done, we haven't exploded all those contaminants that are contained in the tea bag. We have dampened.
So what you're telling me here, Dr. Pavel, is that when you pour the hot water onto the milk,
Yes.
It just works. It's simply science. It's
Science,
that easy.
yes.
It's that easy.
It's not random. It's science, and as we're
So, I find it astounding that people have been putting milk afterwards all these time.
yes,
They didn't know that, in fact, they're doing it wrong.
yes. Well, simple answer is they're savages. You see, they think they know what they're doing, but they don't.
I guess all it leaves us to say is that
Yes.
Dr. Pavel here has quite conclusively proved that putting the milk first is actually the beneficial way to make a cup of tea. So, if you challenge that, then please make a video and we have a look at it.
I think what myself and Dr. Flowers have discovered is that, well, in fact, we haven't discovered anything. It's always been there. But you have to use your brain, you see, when you make a cup of tea. It's not just an element. So use science. You see, we're not savages, we're not animals. We don't just throw things together and just wish that they make something that's complete. No, we have to think about what's there. So, and that's it. It actually goes down smoother. You see, because it doesn't have that sharp, overbrewed taste. It has the sort of contained.
I just want to say a huge thank you to Dr. Pavel for coming all the way here from Liechtenstein for providing us with that information. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure working with you, Dr. Flowers, and I hope you at home have learned